PuppetMasterFPV. Thanks for, I really appreciate every single one of the very few views that I get. It's been an interesting day. My son and I were both really affected by allergies on top of getting like a sinus infection, so we were really wiped out, knocked on our butts. And he got antibiotics and stuff, but I sure didn't. So I finally got to rest yesterday like I needed to. I did get some medication, but I could not sleep for like the last week, and it was really wearing on me. Well, last night when I finally did pass out, I slept until, I don't know, 4 o'clock today, which is kind of disgusting in one sense, but absolutely awesome in the other, because I was so sick and exhausted and sleep deprived that I just needed that catch-up day. But then you wake up and it's like the whole day is wasted, and you just feel like a giant astroturd because you just slept away an entire day, even though it was pissing and storming pretty much all through the night and day. So you see I still have some after piddles. So there wasn't really an opportunity to do flying or to do the things that I wanted to do. I have right now, I did some work on this mini Vortex last night. I updated the OSD firmware and the Betaflight firmware. So, and then I went into beta. You have to do it twice. You have to do it a couple different things to get it to go. You have to have a battery plugged into your quad and the mini USB to the computer. Open up the Vortex configurator that you find on the Google App Store. It's a free thing. You just might need some drivers downloaded to operate it, but it shouldn't be a problem as long as your computer is made in this century. After you download the configurator, you can link to your quad and actually change a bunch of settings right in there from your pilot name, which is nice, not having to use the joysticks of your controller, to, I think, video, signal control, a bunch of other shit. And then from there you download the OSD and the Betaflight, or I think the OSD loads right there. And then the Betaflight firmware comes down as a file that'll be in your computer. So then exit out after it, the bar goes all the way across and it loads what it needed to from the Vortex configurator. Close that, open up Betaflight. It sounds hard, but it really isn't. It's easy. Open up Betaflight and don't connect it to Betaflight. Go down to where it's the flash firmware locally, and then just leave it as choose board, choose whatever. Don't pick anything as an option. Do a full chip erase and grab that Betaflight file and open it, and it should load instantly onto your quad. And then when I reopened up my OSD, I could still do everything that I needed to. You might need to run your OSD wizard once after the configurator and before Betaflight to get it to work correctly, but that's just, I think it's just a little bug in it, not a big deal. And then once your new Betaflight version is loaded, if you want to, you can go into Betaflight and start changing shit around. Now, I caution people against doing that, especially people that are new to the hobby, because anything that you change in Betaflight has the potential of affecting the OSD in a negative way. Okay? It's like it might not be able to work properly. So be wary about going into Betaflight and changing a bunch of shit around on your own. You'd be much better served, especially as a new guy, using the custom built OSD that comes up on your screen that you can virtually change anything and everything you need on your quad. From video channel to band to VTX signal strength to your camera settings to your PIDs to your loop time. You can even load Pro Tunes done by Chad Novak Final Glide Os himself that to me are just make it totally dialed in. There's no tuning I've needed, unless I'm trying to put an action camera up, and then in that case, you need to up your gains, because it is such a small quad, it will fly like shit with any kind of extra weight and wind resistance up there that an action cam will create. So yes, love this quad. But I'm excited to test out now that I have because the red P&P version had the newest version of Betaflight loaded onto it. This one had an older version, I think from October 2016, which still flies great, but I think you always want to have the newest stuff on it, and I wanted to load the firmware directly from the newest firmware from Immersion. So yeah, and you can see I got some sexy brand new 4-blade clear blue racecraft props on there, which are gonna be pretty sexy. But the weather's just shit. It's kind of sprinkling, so I'm not gonna really. I'm gonna look to fly somewhere dry, and then that'll do it. So stay tuned. We're gonna go ahead and test fly the mini Vortex150 after upgrading the firmware and loading in the newest version of Betaflight. Thanks for watching PuppetMasterFPV.